Hey guys, so I've got Junie chapter 4 for you today, and if you remember correctly, chapter 3, Mr. Scary had put a lot of words on the board for the kids to read, and Junie B could not read any of those words, and she was supposed to read a word and draw a picture, and it was called stumped. She was stumped. So chapter 4 is called clucks. We drew and drew in our journals, and Mr. Scary waited until all of us were done, and then he walked around the room, and he looked at everyone's pictures, and he gave out shiny gold stars. First, he gave stars to Camille and Chanel. "What great-looking dogs you drew, girls, and look at those floppy ears." Lucille raised her hand. "Look at mine, teacher," she said. "I drew a cat with pointy ears. See, my rich Nana has an expensive cat just like this. Its fur is a foot thick almost." Mr. Scary looked strange at her. "Really, Lucille? A whole foot of fur," he said. My. He gave her a gold star and moved on. And he went to a boy named Roger. Roger was in the same class as me last year. "Excellent job, Roger," Mr. Scary said. "You drew a man wearing a coat." The words man and coat were both on the board, weren't they? I did a little frown, because none of those words were actually sounding familiar to me. After that, Mr. Scary walked to Sheldon and Shirley. "Cool bat and ball, Sheldon," he said. "And Shirley, you drew a bat and ball too, didn't you?" I put my head on my desk. Something was very wrong here. Finally, Mr. Scary got to May. "Oh, May," he said, "what a special clock you drew. The big hand has 5 fingers. That's very unusual." "Yes," said May, "I created it myself. Plus clock was the hardest word up there, wasn't it, Mr. Scary? I am the only one who even knew the word clock, I bet." Just then my stomach felt sickish inside, and I quick closed my journal and stuffed it in my desk. Mr. Scary saw me. "Junie B," he said, "don't you want to show me your drawing? Don't you want a gold star for today?" I shook my head real fast. "Nope, no thank you. No, I don't. Not today. I really don't care for a gold star today, but thank you for asking." Mr. Scary kept on standing there. "The end," I said, but he did not budge. "Please move along," I said. Finally, Mr. Scary bent down next to me, and he lowered his voice so nobody else could hear. "I'm sorry, Junie B, but I really would like to see what you drew," he said. "I need to make sure that you understood the assignment." Then, before I knew it, he took my journal right out of my desk, and he gave it to me to hold. After that, we walked into the hall, and he let me show him the drawing in private. And guess what? He liked it, I think. "Oh, wow, look at that, Junie B," he said. "You drew a wonderful picture of he kept on looking. A screaming chicken," I finally said. Mr. Scary did a strange face. "Yes, right," he said. "It's a screaming chicken," I said again. I pointed at the chicken's mouth. "See how it's saying cluck, cluck, cluck?" I used capital letters for the clucks. Capitals are for screaming, correct? "Well, yeah, I suppose so," said Mr. Scary. "But the thing is, Junie B, the word cluck wasn't on the board today." "I know it," I said. "The word on the board was clock, only I didn't read all the letters right, I guess, because I accidentally thought it was cluck." I tapped on my chin. "What I actually wanted to draw was the butt and bull," I said. "I really like the sound of that one, but I didn't know how to actually get started, so I went ahead with the cluck idea." Mr. Scary looked very confused. "The word butt and bull?" he asked. I smiled, kind of embarrassed. "Yeah, well, I read those words wrong too, I guess," I said. "They turned out to be bat and ball." Mr. Scary frowned. He said. "What are the other words on the board, Junie B? Do you remember how to read some of the other ones? How about dog and cat? Or coat and goat?" I thought back, and then I made my voice real quiet. "I thought it was dug and caught, and coot and ute," I said. Mr. Scary nodded his head, and then he patted my hand very nicely, and he gave me back my journal, and we walked back to room 1. I wonder what Junie B's problem could be. She's not getting all of her letters right, is she? Look back at the cover of the book. What do you notice Junie B has on? Purple. I wonder if that might have something to do with the way she reads. I don't know. We'll have to see. Chapter 5 is called Bug Bag. So we'll read about that tomorrow. Have a good day.